Hello NBA fans, every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I'm counting on you to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Lakers may have some good news, as a great player may become available, Malcolm Brogdon, who could be a big help to the Lakers. Malcolm Brogdon is a good long-range shooter, with consistent three-point shooting, and is also effective on defense and has offensive skills. The Lakers are interested in Malcolm Brogdon, who was the 6th Player of the Year. The Los Angeles Lakers are still piecing together a roster fit for title contention around LeBron James and Luka Doncic. While their offseason hasn't exactly lit up the sky like fireworks, they've quietly made a couple of solid moves. As of July 4th, LA's projected salary for the 2025-26 season sits at $192.6 million, just $3.3 million below the first apron. That number matters because the Lakers hard-capped themselves there by using the non-taxpayer mid-level exception to sign Jake LaRavia, $5.85 million, and DeAndre Ayton, $8.1 million. Now, they can't go a single dollar over $195.9 million for the entire season. Luckily, they've already filled 14 roster spots. That leaves just one more opening, and a key decision to make. They could ink second-round pick Adou Thiero, or they could take a more win-now route and sign former Rookie of the Year Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon's been on a bit of a tour the past few seasons. After runs with the Celtics, Trail Blazers, and Wizards, he's hunting for his next landing spot. The Lakers should open the door. Even at 32, with a bit of tread worn off the tires, Brogdon still has plenty to offer. He's a steady hand, a capable scorer, and a smart decision-maker who knows how to run an offense. At 6'4", he can toggle between point guard and shooting guard with ease, whether sharing the floor with Doncic or giving him a breather. Sure, the Lakers have Gabe Vincent, but Brogdon gives them more juice as a creator and a more dependable presence on both ends. He's not the lockdown defender he used to be, but he still uses his frame and instincts to stay in front of his man and make life tough on opposing guards. Health is the biggest question mark. Brogdon's battled injuries the last few seasons, suiting up for fewer than 40 games in each of the last 2 years. He hasn't cleared 60 games in a season since his Milwaukee days back in 2019. But if the Lakers are rolling the dice, this is a good gamble. They'd have to sign him to a veteran minimum deal, worth $3.3 million due to his service time. That conveniently matches the room they have below the first apron. Even better, it would only count $2.3 million against the cap since it's a vet min deal, giving them around $1 million in wiggle room. Brogdon's veteran savvy, positional flexibility, and playoff experience would be a huge value add for this Lakers squad. Bonus, he'd be reuniting with Ayton, his former Portland teammate from the 2023-24 season. Lakers pulling out all stops to help Luka Doncic this offseason. The Lakers are investing in Luka this offseason, big time. The Los Angeles Lakers are not wasting any time when it comes to investing in their new franchise star, Luka Doncic, and honestly, who would blame them? Especially with the recent rumors of LeBron James and how he might be on the move out of LA, investing in Luka now makes total sense. Just months after completing one of the most shocking trades in recent NBA history to bring the Slovenian superstar to LA, the Lakers are going the extra mile, literally. This summer, Doncic will suit up for the Slovenian national team in Eurobasket 2025. But he will not be the only Laker making the trip. Assistant coach Greg St. Jean has officially joined Slovenia's coaching staff, giving Doncic a direct connection to the Lakers throughout the entire tournament. NBA correspondent Mark Stein reported, Slovenia has also hired Lakers assistant coach Greg St. Jean as a member of its coaching staff for the upcoming Eurobasket campaign, for the second time, so Doncic can have a daily Lakers presence alongside him later this summer. Slovenia has also hired Lakers assistant coach Greg St. Jean as a member of its coaching staff for the upcoming Eurobasket campaign, for the second time, so Doncic can have a daily Lakers presence alongside him later this summer. This is not their first rodeo. St. Jean worked closely with Doncic during their time together in Dallas from 2021 to 2023. As an assistant under Jason Kidd, he was one of the coaches Luka trusted most, as he was someone who did not just guide him through game plans, but understood how to reach him on a deeper level. On top of that, St. Jean's connection to LA runs just as deep. This is actually his second stint with the Lakers. He was part of the team's player development staff from 2019 to 2021, helping the team win a championship inside the 2020 Orlando bubble. After 2 seasons in Dallas and a short stretch in Phoenix, he returned to Los Angeles in 2024 as one of the first hires under new head coach JJ Redick. St. Jean is not new to Slovenia's setup either. He was on the bench for Eurobasket 2022, bringing his NBA-level experience to the international stage. This kind of move speaks volumes about how the Lakers are approaching the Doncic era. Conditioning has been a focus for Doncic this offseason, and by embedding a Lakers coach directly into Slovenia's training environment, they are helping him stay aligned with the team's program, even while he gets the opportunity of representing his country. Overall, this is a smart play. For Doncic, it ensures that his Lakers transition does not pause during the summer. For the Lakers, it offers a unique window to continue shaping their stars' development while strengthening the bond between player and franchise. Why Jackson Hayes has a no-trade clause in his new 1-year deal with LA Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers have finally addressed their troubles at the center position. Even with signing DeAndre Ayton to a 2-year deal, the Los Angeles Lakers needed a backup center to ensure the former number 1 overall pick doesn't feel overburdened. President Rob Pelinka did so by signing Jackson Hayes to a 1-year deal. Despite Hayes being unhappy over his postseason role, the 25-year-old has returned to the team. Jackson Hayes has earned a no-trade clause after returning to the LA Lakers. This will be the 3rd straight season where Hayes has signed a 1-year deal with the Purple and Gold. Interestingly, this time around, the veteran center has a no-trade clause in his 1-year contract. Considering only LeBron James and Bradley Beal have no-trade clauses in their contracts, Hayes receiving one may surprise fans. After all, NTCs are usually reserved for the biggest names in the league. No offense to Hayes, but he's nowhere near that level. So why does Hayes have a no-trade clause in his deal? It happens with every 1-year deal for a player getting 3 years or more seasons consecutively with any team because they acquire bird right at that point, and those would be lost with a trade, Lakers reporter Trevor Lane explained on X. He added, so the player has a chance to stop a trade since their bird rights would be lost. Devine George did it back in the day. As Lane mentioned, this was part of the NBA's new CBA agreement with the NBPA. Either way, this means that the Lakers cannot trade Hayes unless he agrees to it, at least for the 2025-26 NBA season. Hayes averaged 6.8 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 1.0 assists per game for the Lakers last season. Lakers may make bold LeBron James move before the GOAT acts. The Los Angeles Lakers are in a position none of LeBron's former teams have been in. No team that has previously housed LeBron James had surely ever looked at him as anything but a franchise player, a key to their success, and an enormous gift on their roster. In 2025, the Los Angeles Lakers may be changing that by boldly pursuing a relocation for James while under contract. Brian Windhorst appeared on ESPN yesterday to deliver a shocking sentiment about how James is reportedly being viewed behind closed doors. According to the NBA Insider, a 40-year-old GOAT leans much more heavily into the first half of that descriptor. Windhorst said, "My conversations over the last 3 days have crystallized that the Lakers are essentially viewing LeBron as an expiring contract. I'm not sure what happened, but the Lakers and LeBron did not have substantive discussions about extending his contract. The thing with expiring contracts is they tend to get traded. That possibility is starting to look less and less absurd by the day. Would the Lakers want to beat James to the punch of him potentially asking out of Los Angeles? If so, they have to navigate the situation very carefully. James' no-trade clause brings difficulty to any attempted trade maneuver by Lakers. James belongs to many exclusive clubs. One of those involves being one of the few players throughout the NBA's long history to have a no-trade clause. Granted, the exclusivity is a bit debatable here considering Bradley Beal is also among the group. Regardless of that latter fact, even if the Lakers have the intent of wanting to move the four-time NBA champion during the summer of 2025, they must do so with James in mind. Any lackluster destination can quickly get nixed by the all-time great and damage their relationship. That does not necessarily mean they have to work together with him, although that would make it a lot easier. They just have to work with trade partners whom James would be likely to approve of. If they are not jointly orchestrating this, they still need his blessing in the end. A couple of potential destinations stand out as obvious landing spots for the four-time NBA Finals MVP. A return home to Cleveland feels like a storybook ending that would get approved of. Perhaps even trading one big market for another would suit James, going from Los Angeles to New York. Whether a split is coming between the Lakers and James is still highly debatable, and perhaps even a touch over-exaggerated. However, this is certainly the likeliest that possibility has felt during LeBron's time in Los Angeles. Lakers fans buzzing after Damian Lillard's latest post. Damian Lillard is officially a free agent after being released by the Milwaukee Bucks following their move to sign Myles Turner away from the Indiana Pacers. Since his release, the Los Angeles Lakers are one of the teams that have been mentioned as a possible landing spot. So far this offseason, the Lakers have made two intriguing moves. They signed Jake LaRavia to open up free agency and then brought in former number 1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton after he was bought out by the Portland Trail Blazers. There isn't a lot of financial room to add Lillard, although there are always ways to make moves happen. Los Angeles can't be counted out for him at this point in time. On July 2, Lillard took to social media to react to a report that Giannis Antetokounmpo knew about the Turner signing before it happened. That would insinuate that he knew Lillard was going to be gone as well. Read more. Report. Luka Doncic's thoughts on Lakers' DeAndre Ayton deal emerge. He sent a GIF in response to the report. It didn't take long for fans to start chiming in. They took to the comment section quickly and began sharing their opinions about where he should sign next. Of course, Lakers fans have been very vocal on social media about wanting Lillard to come to Los Angeles. One fan wrote, "Join the Lakers on vet minimum." "Bron would never do that to a teammate, join the Lake Show Dame," a second comment read. A third said, "Welcome to the Lakers, what number you want Lil Bro?" Lakers, another fan commented. A fifth comment said, "Come join the Lakers big bro, we will treat you better demon. You can take your time on your recovery and we know you're coming back stronger and with vengeance." Read more. Report. Lakers connected to intriguing trade with Rockets. Despite being in the middle of recovery from a torn Achilles, Lillard has received quite a bit of interest. There are a lot of teams who would be willing to give him a 2-year deal, assuming the price tag is right. In the 58 games that he played during the 2024-25 regular season before a blood clot issue kept him out until the playoffs, Lillard put up good numbers. He averaged 24.9 points per game to go along with 7.1 assists, 4.7 rebounds, and 1.2 steals, while shooting 44.8% overall and 37.6% from the three-point line. Who will end up signing remains to be seen, but the Lakers are at least a team to monitor. Lakers can trade LeBron James for 6-time All-Star wing without hitch. If LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers decide to end their partnership, the Golden State Warriors have the easiest path to trading for the future Hall of Famer, according to Fred Katz of The Athletic. Katz singled out Jimmy Butler as the Warriors' obvious salary match for James. Butler makes a tad more than James does, marking the trade legal, though if it were constructed this way, it would hard cap the Lakers at the first apron, since they'd be absorbing more money than they send out in a deal. If the Lakers were fine with that, they could execute the one-for-one trade, Katz wrote. And even if the Lakers want to duck the first apron, roping in a third team would not be hard for the Warriors. Golden State and Los Angeles could find a third team willing to take on one of the Lakers' minimum salaries, say, Jordan Goodwin's, without giving any salary back. This way, the total money leaving the purple and gold is above Butler's incoming salary, Katz wrote. The Warriors still have plenty of draft capital, 3 second-round picks, to incentivize a team with cap room, such as the Brooklyn Nets, to absorb Goodwin's $2.4 million salary. LeBron James hints at possible trade demand. James sent a veiled threat to the Lakers through his agent, Rich Paul, Clutch Sports CEO, after picking up his $52.6 million player option. LeBron wants to compete for a championship, Paul told ESPN. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeanie, Buss, and Rob Pelinka, and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. The Lakers made a seismic organizational pivot from James when they traded for Doncic, swapping Anthony Davis, James' closest friend on the team and a fellow Clutch Sports client. Upon Doncic's arrival, the Lakers quickly catered to his demands, leading to the rescinded Mark Williams trade, which didn't go unnoticed in James' camp. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future, Paul continued. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that, are supportive and want what's best for him. It remains to be seen how James feels about the Lakers' moves in free agency. The Lakers have lost Dorian Finney-Smith, their top 3-and-D wing, and replaced him with an unproven 23-year-old Jake LaRavia. And their answer for their most pressing need at center was to sign former number 1 pick DeAndre Ayton, whose questionable work ethic led to the Phoenix Suns and Portland Trail Blazers souring on him. But the Lakers could not have done any better than Ayton at $8.3 million price point, the remaining portion of their non-taxpayer mid-level exception after accounting LaRavia's 2-year, $12 million deal. Warriors pursued LeBron James last year. The Warriors pursued James last year, but they got rebuffed. They have a higher chance of getting traction now if they are going to revisit it. Trade talks didn't go far at all, James said on TNT's Inside the NBA broadcast on February 18, 2024. I actually heard about it when everybody else heard about it. Obviously, Charles Barkley has been in the league, Kenny Smith has been in the league, Shaq has been in the league, and sometimes, there's conversations that happen behind closed doors that you don't even know about. According to Substack's NBA insider Mark Stein, it was Paul who nixed the talks before they even got past the exploratory stage. It is believed that the Lakers would have reluctantly entertained trade conversations with the Warriors before last February's trade deadline if James wanted them to seriously engage Golden State on a potential deal. Yet leak sources say that the reported talks between the teams at the time never got that far, in large part because James' agent Rich Paul was adamantly opposed to the idea of James swapping Southern California for Northern California, Stein wrote. Paul was protective of James' image, according to Stein. Sources say Paul implored both teams to scrap the concept, despite some owner-to-owner dialogue between the Warriors' Joe Lacob and the Lakers' Jeanie Buss and Green's determination to lobby James to push for relocation to the Bay Area, largely because he wanted to insulate James from potential backlash over switching teams for the 4th time in his career, Stein wrote. But with the Lakers having a new franchise player and new majority owner, the circumstances have changed for James and the Warriors.